you know, play Pipeline or Miserloo, whatever?
Let's just do Pipeline. It'll be
Okay.
easy.
You know that part?
Yeah. That dive!
Yeah.
Hey everybody, look who's here. It's Mel.
Hi, everyone. He found me again.
I found him. We did a video in the parking garage behind NAMM, and everyone was like, we want to hear the pickups. We want to hear the pickups. So Mel drove all the way down from Palm Springs down to San Diego so he could show off the pickups in his Clam Shack guitars here.
Yes. Now, if I may, before we get into how awesome these things sound, I first want to say thank you to you for having me on and being someone who is enthusiastic about whack jobs like me doing things like that. And I also want to thank all of you out there in Hummerland. Is that
Hummerland? I like that.
Hummerland, because you guys are awesome, said some really, really kind things and actually already got some orders. And so thank you all so very much. All you Hummers.
I love
He's
it.
the King Hum?
King, they call me Mr. Hum. I have shirts.
Okay. And then also to get to a couple of comments that were in the video, Bruce Campbell looks like me, not the other way around. Me. And then also someone asked, and it was Tester's glue. Tester's glue from the time before they switched to the orange flavor. You know,
yeah.
It was a good old school from the times, like I was saying earlier, about when you had the flavored permanent markers. So you could
Right.
It was
There was like grape and like root beer and like chocolate. And
Yeah.
I remember sitting in like second grade in
I
the,
know
in the
they
80s,
drugged
just
us
like
in school. It was so
those are
good.
the markers they gave us at school. They're like, hey kids, smell these.
And you know what? I think that's the problem with the kids these days. You don't have enough weird things to inhale.
You need to smell more markers if you want to grow up emotionally healthy.
Yeah, you know, people say stop to smell the flowers.
Gotta stop to smell the markers.
That's right.
This is an excellent beginning to a video.
So yes, anyway, thank you to you. Thank you to all of you. It's very exciting for me to get a chance to be out and talk to other enthusiastic people, because all the people in my life have heard this all before.
You've got new victims to expose your madness to.
That's right, yes.
So quick recap,
Yes.
you make these guitars. Your
Correct.
company's called Alameda.
Yes.
This is the Clam Shack.
Correct.
It's got two bridges, which is already bonkers enough. It's got a Mosrite style bridge right here as your functional bridge. And then it has a Vega trim
correct.
Strat style bridge as the trim. So you could, in theory, like intonate and adjust the action and get all fidgety
Yes.
with your behind the bridge strumming if you wanted to.
And also you can change the angle of each string over the bridge. So if you need a tighter break angle on some than the other.
Right.
Sort of the way like the frequencator, the Epiphone frequencator tailpieces.
Ah, yeah.
Just say yes.
Yes, absolutely. Very familiar with it.
Wait, has anyone ever told you look like Hervé Villachez?
No, I've never gotten that one.
It doesn't surprise me. You don't look anything like him. I gotta tell you, that joke is so
I don't
dumb.
even know who that is. But that was beautiful.
That joke is so dumb, and I don't get, again, the people in my life are sick of hearing stuff like that. It was very exciting. Thank you. Thank you all for your humor, for your patience.
I always get Chris Elliott or Woody Harrelson.
Okay, I can see that. But you got to look up Hervé Villachez.
Yeah, I'll look him up.
He was the little guy on Fantasy Island.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The plane.
Yeah, I look nothing like him. I see why you brought him up.
Yeah.
The plane. Yeah.
Exactly. The playing. See, there was a reason. Okay.
So, the thing that we weren't able to cover in the parking garage, are we ever going to be able to actually like cover important information in this video, or is this going to be a joke a minute?
It's going to be mining. Like, you know, they have to, like, you know, you got to go like with Pokemon and find the different animals. And then at the end, you sit through all this, and then you will hear the guitar.
We're going to check out the sounds
yes.
that these crazy pickups have, because what you're telling me in the parking garage is that your, what are they called?
Off Kiltertrons.
Off Kiltertrons. Each one has 3 different single coil voicings and 3 different humbucker voicings.
Correct.
And you were saying that it's not some sort of like capacitor resistor sort of trick here. It's internal to the pickup?
Yes. So what happens is, and I went through this before, and I'll say, let's see, I'll say it slowly, because if I say it too fast, then I lose my place. Asymmetrical, dual bobbin, multi-coil pickups. Now what that means, first off, asymmetrical, because the 2 bobbins are different shapes. There are 2 bobbins and multi-coils. So what happens is one or both, or maybe even more, have a split coil, but they're all coils are wound with different wire at different winding levels to ideally get the tonal variation.
I'm trying to like visualize in my mind what's going on underneath here. So the blade is obviously 1 coil.
Correct.
Is this other side of it multiple coils?
It might or might not be.
It may or might not be. The one with pole pieces here. It sounds like it's probably not a single coil.
No. I'll tell you what.
But it's asymmetrical.
Yes.
So it could, in theory, it could be like.
It's actually asymmetrically asymmetrical, because the bobbins are different shapes, but then also the coils that may or may not exist in the rod magnet side, they're also different shapes and coils sizes. Yes.
Nothing in here is symmetrical. Nothing matches. It's all different.
Correct.
And there's multiple parts where there could just be 2 parts, but there's more than 2 parts.
Yes. Okay. You're talking to a guy. I don't even put the same socks on in the morning. This morning I'm like, one's got a toe color, the other's black.
How many pickups are in this pickup? I'm guessing off of your description, I'm guessing there's 3 pickups in here. Is there more than 3? It's 3? Okay.
Yes, there are 3. Okay, I've obfuscated enough. It's a humbucker with 1 as a split coil. Okay, and
and then the single is also a split coil.
Kind of, yes.
Kind of.
So the barbell is a single plane straight ahead. That's this one, is a single straight ahead, just a single coil. Now, another way that I initially was talking about these was calling them Rio, because there is a rail, there is an inner and an outer coil on this.
There's an inner coil and an outer coil. I was imagining that it was
stacked.
It was like a coil that covered 2 strings and then a coil that covered 4. You're telling me there's how does that? So
so basically,
you should have brought a drawing or a model or something.
The way this works is, if you've wound pickups, you're winding, you reach a certain point.
So it's like a tap.
Yes, but a tap suggests it's all a continuous coil that you've got to tap off of. These are actually separate coils, separately voiced, separate gauges of wire.
And there's 1 internal and 1 external?
Yes, with different blessings over each on sundown, Dianu. And yes, so then based on that, what we're doing here with the 3-way is you're first listening to a coil here. That's the jangle is a single coil off of here. Twangle is the rail one by itself. Wrangle is both sides of this. That's the extra beefy single coil. Then, which is next, Tangle, the Kiltertron one, is the rail and the outer coil on here. Mangle, the standard one, following all this, is this rail and the inner coil of this. And Crush, with me, is all of it. So that's why I was saying that there's no special filtering. I don't know if you ever looked into like an Echo guitar where it's got all the little switches and stuff on it.
Right.
The Italian guitar.
Yeah.
You pull that out and there's all kinds of like resistors and capacitors that are just sucking the tone out. It was like like they were sitting going, hey,
Right.
how can we make this stink more? So, so that's the way I've done it. And for simplicity's sake, the single rotary controls both, though again,
Right.
it's possible to do it differently. I've just found that this is a good combination of the way I play.
I mean, you could have switches all the way across the pick guard
yes.
if you wanted to get fidgety with it,
Oh, you know what? I should probably set one to, you remember the clapper?
Yeah.
Clap on. So wouldn't it be cool if you could just clap and it would change position?
It would make,
And then when the audience claps, it'd be
right. You'd have to make sure that you suck when you play so no one claps.
That's true. That's not a problem for me.
Everyone, please don't clap. No applause.
No applause.
You're messing everything up. So then you've got a push pull here. Do you have anything else?
No, nothing else on there yet.
All right. So what does the push pull do?
The push pull turns the neck pickup on. And the reason for that is this is a standard Strat 5-way switch. And as we know from standard 5-way switches, you don't get the neck and the bridge, the neck and the bridge together. So that lets you do it.
Cool.
There are other ways to set up a 5-way switch. Like you've seen pictures of the 3 pickup Jazzmaster I have?
Yeah.
Back? Okay. So that I had with a 5-way switch that went neck and bridge, bridge and middle all the way on the end. I flipped the bridge in the middle so that I could get those two together.
Right.
But then nobody could borrow my guitar, which may have been a good thing. I don't know.
Do you get a lot of use out of a middle Jazzmaster pickup?
For me, I mainly use it to get the Strat-ish tones that you don't get otherwise. And then, the middle pickup also, strangely enough, it gets used in places you don't expect it. I mean, Hank Marvin from the Shadows would use it, and I think even Dick Dale used it sometimes. Yeah. So it's that, but primarily for me, it was to be able to get a little quacky stuff for the sounds.
That's interesting.
Philosophically, there's some people, and I don't know where you fit in this number, but who can play with the same tone all night, and it sounds amazing. If I played with the same sound all night, not only would the audience fall asleep, but I think I would too. So this way, by having a lot of different tones, it just kind of keeps things interesting to go, oh, okay, so now, I want a sharp, bright tone for this song, and this song I want something else. And it just, again, allowed me to pursue ways to do things to make being on stage interesting that may or may not involve dancing.
Well, let's check it out. I'm going to turn off my reverb over here so we can hear it dry.
Yes.
And then guide me through the settings. So
you're going to start on This Is Jangle, and it helps if you turn, and you're on the bridge pickup.
Am I out of tune already?
It sounds like it.
I dived too deep.
Who are you, Jacques Cousteau?
There we go.
So, like, the way I would, how do I turn the reverb? I'm embarrassed to say I need to turn the reverb down.
I've got it pretty spicy over there.
It's, the sort of, I'm trying to play jangly Rickenbacker stuff, and it is all completely left my mind. Saw her today. Face I left. Anyway,
right.
I'm sorry.
It's got a bit of like a spaghetti western thing.
Yeah.
So that's just the blade?
That is the inner coil.
The inner coil. So the way I'm imagining this, like we'll use the scout knife here. There's the inner coil, which would be like inside the scout knife, and the outer coil wraps around it?
Basically, yes. So what happened?
Because I was imagining coil next to coil, but it's
which is its own way to do things, and there are certainly applications where that makes a lot of sense. We've all seen split pickups, but I don't. Do you know about the old DeArmond Rhythm Chiefs?
No, I don't.
So this was a pickup that was designed to be floating on an acoustic that would be with brass strings. So they wound the bobbin they wound a whole bunch around 4 poles, and then they put in a filler over the last 2 poles and wound less wire around them. So that was how they balanced the levels. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Uh-uh.
No.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, so that's your jangly setting.
Almost like Dan Electro.
A little
in the
Dan
vibe,
Electro,
yeah.
a little Hylotron, a little bit of that. That's why I was like the. And I'm gonna mess this up, but the. I mean, isn't that's kind of that?
Yeah, yeah, totally.
Yeah. So that's kind of a high-low, Dano, Wicco sound.
And then the next setting is
Twangle.
Twangle,
Which is the rail by itself. And this is the one that's going to be the most like a standard Fender pickup.
right. Yeah, that sounds stratty.
Yeah.
That's it.
There you go.
I'm not trimmed so much.
Yeah, look, the trim is it did it for me. That
Right.
was just, and again, we were talking before of like there's thinking about it and then actually going ahead and doing it.
Right.
And that's what COVID left me trapped in a workshop. And the strange ideas all got louder and louder in my head, and then that was kind of it.
And then, like, weirdly, the Vega trim just visually works for it. Because
Yeah.
it's not
It's not clunky.
a giant clunky Strat bridge. Like, it looks like it's meant to be a little
is
tail
meant to
vibrato
be.
like that.
It's the most beautiful thing ever.
So then the third setting
That's the last single coil center, which is called Wrangle. It's more like a Dynasonic or a Mosrite pickup. It's a lot hotter and rounder sounding.
and that's the inner coil,
And outer.
inner and outer.
Yes.
Okay.
Or if you think about like the dance, what's it good? Driving guitar.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds
So
like
you can hear it's a snappier sound. And so when I normally am playing in surf bands, what I will usually do is set Twangle as my midpoint. And then if I'm playing lead, I switch it to Wrangle. Or if I want to have that more Fendery lead, then I use an exterior boost.
So what I'm hearing to my ears is a Dano setting, a Fender setting, a Mosrite setting, and then number 4 is
Filtertron.
Filtertron.
So think about, let's get there. Like,
That sounds great.
I don't know. What, do you know what I'm saying? There's like that.
Yeah.
I can't.
Sunday, we're playing sloppy.
And you know what will be tomorrow? It's Monday and I'm playing sloppy.
But that's all the settings sound like
Real.
real.
But is it?
I mean, you're not simulating anything. It's not like
No.
it's a smart digital pickup or something like that. It's just different coils
It's,
all jammed into one box.
yes. Potentially you could argue that it connects with other dimensions, but that's top secret and I'd have to take you to Area 53.
Like this setting right here, that could be like an always on for me. Like,
Yeah, that's your light. And what's interesting is a Filtertron, part of the reason it sounds different from a Gibson, PAF style is that the coils are narrower and it's got less gain, which is what this setting is. The old Guild humbuckers were the same way. Again, I don't know what they put in the Surfliner these days,
right.
but that was part of why those things sound different. It's also why the mini humbuckers, the Gibson mini humbuckers, are brighter sounding than the PAFs because smaller, narrower voice.
Right.
So in this instance, I'm sort of faking that by using the rail with a lower output single coil the outer coil.
So this is the rail and the outer coil.
Correct.
And then the last one will be all of them.
No, there's 2 more.
There's 2 more. It's a 6-position switch.
Yes.
Okay.
So the next one is
The rail and the inner.
and that's going to be more of your path setting.
Gotcha. Yeah. So back to that's softer, and this is brighter and a little bit punchier.
Yeah.
We'll have to go through them all with dirt too. Are these P90 spaced?
You know, that's a funny thing.
Are they unique?
They're unique.
They're unique. Okay.
But there's a reason for that, which is that I designed them for a collapsible guitar that you have seen that it'll show up later. Don't worry. But part of the thing was there wasn't a lot of depth for where I needed it to go. And what I didn't want to do is use a pickup the same size as everything else. So someone's go, oh, well, why can't I put this in there? Well, it's not going to fit. Well, why won't it fit? That's my fetchy, complaining customer sound. But anyway, so that was why I their own size, so you couldn't put anything in there.
Right.
Now, was that wise in the long term? That's part of why I also make them in Kiltertron covers, and I am thinking about making them more versions of these that are P90 shaped.
You should do one in a Jazzmaster cover.
Yes, I have, and I will do that. Is that something you would like for
That's
yourself?
something I'd like for myself.
Folks, does he deserve it? Right down below.
I don't deserve
right below,
anything.
If he deserves fancy Jazzmaster off Kilter Jazz pickups.
What would I put it in? I could put it in the Ampro 2.
Yeah,
Throw one in the bridge.
absolutely. Get angry.
Yeah.
It will be like it will be, instead of a Jazz Master, it will be a Jazz Conqueror.
So there's one more setting left,
Yes.
which is all of them.
Yeah.
And what does that sound similar to?
I say it's like the super distortion sound, but
Okay.
but it doesn't really sound like anything except.
So go back to the PAF sound. Just more output.
Yes. And so part of what I did was that each voice is progressively louder so that you can also, if you're not fussy about, oh, I'm looking for this particular tone or that, I'm just looking to get more oomph out of it. You know, like, you know how you can get an amp to overdrive by adding more bass to it? It's kind of
Gotcha.
like that, but different.
Let's try it with some drive now.
Yeah, sure. I'm just going to sit here holding this look beautiful.
Whoa.
Well, do you want to start on the lowest setting again, or you're going to stay on crush?
Let's stay on crush. I'm actually I think I'm gonna pull back the highs on my amp a little bit.
Okay.
It's a little bit sharp, isn't it? So here it is without the drive. We'll go through the settings and then we'll turn on the drive.
Sounds good.
All right, now I'll go all the way back there and turn on some dirt.
It's going to get dirty in here.
It sounds like a hot humbucker, because that's what it is.
It is, yeah. I don't know about you, but and I brought this up last time. You know, there are certain tones like I can't play with because I hear you sound great, but I can't play it. But way you were sounding that, I was just starting to go. I want to rock and roll all night, and then I want to party every day.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
All right.
Yeah.
Am I dating myself with that?
No.
It's Kiss.
Yeah. Keep it simple, Steve.
Yeah.
That's what it stands for, right?
Yeah, so we'll go with
Do
that.
I know how to play it? No, I don't.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm not going to worry about it. That's a great
Oh, wait,
sounding
I gotta
humbucker sound. On to, what is it, Crush?
Yeah. Oh no, that was Crush. This is Mangle.
This
now,
is
so we're thinking-
Mangle. It has a different voice.
Yes.
Go back to Crush. Now Mangle. It's slight, but it does
doesn't
feel
have
different.
as much mid.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got that little bit of like a
Beef.
mid.
Yeah.
Sometimes I say high mid or low mid, but that's mid. It's
Yeah.
like, it feels like this narrow band of mid that's just been boosted up a little bit.
There you go. Oh, that's good.
So what's the next one?
So we did Crush, we did Mangle, now we're on Tangle, which is the Kiltertron one.
Right. It's warm.
Yeah.
That, I honestly think that would be my, like,
Go-to
always
tone.
on, my go-to for like a humbucker sound on this. Like, I figured out at some point, like, because when I was a kid, I'd get all these humbuckers that were like, 14, 17K, stuff like that. Like, I got to get hotter. As an adult, I'm like, where's the 7K humbuckers at, you know?
Do you want to know the output of Crush?
What is it?
27.
27?
Yeah.
Holy hell.
What it goes to show, though, is that there's a lot more involved than just the
Right.
resistance as the output. There's also Henry's, which is inductance.
Mm-hmm.
And I just always think about, oh, Henry. Buck Henry.
My son's name is Henry.
See?
Yeah.
Does he know he has his own measure of
No, I
of
didn't know
unit?
until just
Unit
now.
measure?
Yeah. I'm learning something.
Exactly. Now, do you know what a Sverdrup is?
No. Did you just make that up?
You would think a Sverdrup is the unit of measurement for water flow between ocean basins.
All right.
You live near the ocean. How do you not know that?
But I don't live near two different basins.
True.
Is the
Okay, I
issue,
take
you
it
know?
back. My
If there were
apologies.
two basins here and there was flow between them, then I'd totally know.
The Sverdrup surfers.
The Sverdrup.
Sverdrup surfers. I think we got a name.
Don't wander too far off of the screen here. Like,
Oh my God! Sorry. I get so excited.
I have to do that to Steve, my podcast co-host, all the time. Like, get back here.
Do.
All right.
So yes.
So now we'll go from that into the single coils.
So that was Tangle. Now you're going to go into Wrangle, which is the hottest single coil.
I messed that up.
Yeah,
That trend
makes it.
It's worth the price of admission, but this pickup situation is wild. I didn't really get it when you were explaining it to me in the parking garage, but like, it legitimately sounds like 6 different pickups. Like,
Yes,
that's wild.
So that's the thing is,
without sounding filtered,
correct.
you know?
Well, that's because nothing is filtered.
Right. It's just it's
You're just like smacking around the different parts of the pickup.
it's 6 different pickups.
Yes.
It's so silly. And
But it
it's
works.
amazing. It totally works.
Yes.
You're like, someone else should have figured it out by now. Like, what, we've had electric guitars for 100 years or something like that?
Yeah.
Like, this should be like the standard thing. Like, if we can have them all in one pickup, why don't we?
Well, when was Tester's glue first around?
It all goes back to the glue.
No,
That's the source.
to be fair, there was also a brain injury involved. But I'm serious.
Did you wake up from a coma or something like that? And you're like, I've got an idea. What happened? What's the story?
So I was in a car accident, a fender bender. My brain got scrambled. I couldn't actually form words for several weeks, and then
Wow.
I had this horrendous stutter. Now, The worst part of it was for that first few weeks, there was only one word I could get out of my mouth, and it was not a nice word. I don't know how bad can we say on there.
We're on YouTube, so you can do whatever you want.
Okay. Clamgram.
Clamgram? That was the not nice word?
Do you know what a clamgram is?
I don't, but it doesn't sound that bad.
Do you know what a dick pic is?
Oh. I didn't know that. A clamgram.
Yes. So now you're going to look at the clam shack all differently.
Honey, how come I don't know about clamgrams?
I know. Well, what had happened was a few days before the accident, I was talking with a dear friend of mine from high school. And you
come out of like an operation or out of your accident or whatever, you're like, clamgram, please. Boot me back up.
Are you okay? Are you okay? I'm like, clamgram.
Oh my gosh.
That's how she knew I was going to be okay.
He's fine.
Oh no, the worst part of it was she would take me to see doctors, and it was so bad that I couldn't look at someone and speak at the same time. I had to look at the floor so that I could have enough bandwidth to get words out.
Right.
And she'd take me to see doctors, and it's like, he's had a bad concussion. And I'm just thinking, Gah. But they don't know what to compare it to. They're like,
right. Where's the baseline?
Yeah, I'm like, maybe he's just always been like this.
Yeah.
And so, it took, I have patents. Like,
right.
You still could be a weirdo anyway. But so I'm generally fine.
Sidetracked story. My brother got in a bike accident years and years ago where he was riding on his bike and he got distracted, probably by a girl or something like that, crashed into the back of a hatchback, went through the back window. Thank goodness it was a hatchback, so there was something to go through, plenty of room.
Holy cow.
And so someone calls the ambulance because they saw it happen. Mm-hmm. He has someone grab his phone and call me because he's just a college-age kid at the time. He doesn't have insurance.
Wow.
So the stranger calls me. I think it's your brother just had a bike accident. We're over on this street. It was like 5 minutes away, so I drove over there. And the paramedics have him loaded in the thing. And it's like, oh, man, this is going to bankrupt him. He can't afford an ambulance ride right now. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So I'm talking to the paramedics, like, how bad is it? Like, can I take him to the hospital? And they're like, we don't know. He's acting pretty silly. Like, he keeps making a lot of jokes. I'm like, oh, he's fine then.
Exactly.
He's great. Everything's perfect. Oh. And he was fine. He broke his teeth, sort of thing. And he got all scratched up and cut up. But I got him in a car. We got him to the hospital, and it didn't cost $6,000 or whatever it cost.
Which is important.
It is.
Plus, you got a story out of it.
I got a story out of it.
That's the way I mean, ridiculous things. At least I got good stories.
Let's get back to the rest of the pickups.
Sorry.
So we've been on the first single coil setting here. On the dirty sound.
And so that was Wrangle. Now we're in Tangle.
Yeah, there's that Fender quality. Go back to that. Yeah, big differences.
Yeah.
And then we'll go to the jangle.
Jangle. He's got it.
I remember jangle and I remember crush. Everything in between. It's a little sketchy.
You'll get there.
That's nasty. Let's do it on the neck pickup real quick. Just go through those. So we'll start with that one. Sounds great as a neck pickup. Yeah. They all sound killer.
Well, thank you.
I want these pickups now. So this is the first humbucker setting now. That's the PAF. I'm playing. I'm just throwing stuff at it. And here is the crush. And then you've got all.
Sorry.
And then you've got all the other like pickup combinations
Yes.
here.
So an interesting thing that can happen is, as I mentioned, the barbell is voiced to twangle. However, you can use that along with the other pickups in any setting you want, and it's the same obviously when both are on. An interesting thing that happens is you'll notice the bar magnets are further apart from each other than the rail magnets. It's about an additional inch. And that changes the way they sound when they're in combination with each other. And there's almost a hint of quack on with both neck and bridge on.
So this turns on the neck, right?
Correct. And then if we get you in, let's see, the that's twangle. I guess we won't hear so much with mud, but anyhow.
Here, we'll go clean.
It's got a little bit of the quackiness to it, as opposed to, like, say.
Yeah. So that's the difference between outer coils and inner coils.
Correct. And it's all about the distance between them.
Like, I've messed around with guitars that have a ton of settings before, but usually it's like very subtle and like within character differences. Like, I'll say like the last two humbucker settings are pretty close. Like the output difference, a little bit of a mid bump.
Yeah.
The Kiltertron style humbucker is totally different.
Correct.
The 3 singles are totally different.
Correct.
You have 5 definitely unique sounds, and then an
Crush
extra
is
setting.
like just a smack in the face.
Right, right.
Yeah.
But 5 absolutely unique sounds from one pickup, and then an extra boost
Yes.
is pretty remarkable. And you're not doing anything crazy or digital. There's no modeling things happening. It's just combinations of coils.
Correct. There's
brilliant.
what? There's a guitar voice for every voice up here.
Yeah. And then if you did a guitar that had 2 of these, and you could
Absolutely. You can
an
run
insane
them up
amount of combinations
separately. And in fact, you'll be the first to hear it on here. I'm building a semi-solid that's going to be in addition to this, and it'll have each pickup will have its own rotary.
So semi-solid, so it's going to be like Jello with olives in it or something.
Yeah, pretty. It's like all in aspic.
Right, right.
It's nasty. It'll be
cocktail weenies and pineapple.
The build will be similar to a Rickenbacker, where it's 2 different solid pieces hogged out and glued together, and it's going to be called the Beatnik Baron.
Nice.
So you can all decide what that's going to look like in your head until it actually comes out.
You'll be wrong. You'll be wrong if you decide that, but
you can still dream. You'll be. You know what? They'll be as close as you look to Hervé Villachez.
Pretty close. The plane.
Yes,
the plane, boss. I don't know. I did that.
That was pretty cool, though.
It's remarkable. It legitimately sounds like a dozen guitars.
Yes, and part of the thing I think that a lot of guitars with many sounds, as you say, first off, some of them they're too close together to really tell, or that extra sound is so out of volume or pitch with the others. And I tried to make this as
well. Usually it's just like output changes. Or it's like you're splitting a humbucker to sound like a single, but it doesn't really sound like a normal single.
Exactly.
Sort of thing,
exactly. And in fact, so that what you hit upon is the original reason that I got down this path. But first off, the pickup needed to be shallow. But then also I thought, well, if you're going to be going someplace, you want to have a humbucker and a single coil at the same volume level.
Right.
And that's what Wrangle and Tangle are. So if you go through and listen, that single the hottest single coil and the Kiltertron are very similar in volume. And that was kind of like, oh, great, I can have a single coil and a humbucker at the same output. And then all the other stuff just added in that it's a lot of fun to be able to go, you know, I mean, you can switch in the middle of songs. Personally, I tend to just use it as but in surf music, we're after a particular tone. When you're doing the Distorto Montalban stuff, it's
Distorto Montalban.
I'm sorry.
I love it.
So
I want a shirt of that. That's a band name or like an album name right there.
You're right. You're right. And so I'll tell you, and I forget if I told you this before, because like I said, I repeat stories, and since the accident, I don't even remember that I've told them before. But I have dreams of a geriatric metal band. Did I tell you this?
No, but I love it.
Okay, geriatric metal band named Fiber with a Y, and the music will be metal musel.
Metal musel. Have enough iron in your diet, you know.
It'll all be like, why isn't dinner ready at 4? Why isn't dinner? I asked for the special.
All these songs about kids these days.
Exactly. Get off my lawn.
Why don't my grandkids call?
This one was actually said to me by grandmother. You never call, you never write, I wish I was dead. I mean, how do you respond to that? I was like, okay. I mean,
Happy holidays, Nana.
She's dead now. She lived to almost 100, so
she got her wish.
Yeah, she did. You know, that's one of those wishes where if you hope for long enough, it eventually comes true. So anyhow, to get back, so you have gone through what I was trying to do is make those tones and the sounds as sensible to access as I could, because there are actually other ways to do the switching that are just don't translate easily to usage.
Well, you could do like the old like 80s BC Rich thing where you just have a bank of little switches here and try to memorize what they all do. This is like the smart way to do it. And honestly, like the way I use things, I'd forget and I just use my ears and be like, you know, I wouldn't be like, oh, I need this certain flavor of humbucker here. I just, yeah.
And then so that's the way I've seen a number of people who have the pickups use it. A buddy of mine, I put them into his White Falcon, and he takes it on tour and stuff. And when he's taking it to England, the other guitar player just like goes through until he finds that sound. It's like, okay, good.
Yeah, there it is.
So you don't have to use all the sounds.
You get to.
Exactly. And well, so the point, but part of that is, if you want a guitar that is a good Kiltertron sound and you don't care about anything else, it's in there. It's in there, like the Prego.
Honestly, like if I was going to do some sort of like terrible life situation change where I had to go down to one electric guitar, like 2 of these in a guitar, with a trim, and I've got all my bases covered.
And then you would have like, would it be sticking out of like the bandana on your bingo?
Exactly. Yeah.
When you go to the ride the rails.
Yeah. And I'd have a little smoky amp.
Yeah.
That would be it. You know, I got to have all these pickup sounds
for riding the rails.
For my little 9-volt battery amp.
Yes.
Here, my honey tone.
It's the best way. Come on.
So is there anything else that we need to say? We showed off the pickup sound. Should I do it with drippy reverb now?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's go through all the pickup settings on the bridge. We'll just do this. There we go. My hand is getting tired of doing that. think
it sliding?
I think I
You
twisted it
loosened
out. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So this is it's actually a really good point because when you have a rotary, they don't have this. It's a solid shaft, but it doesn't have a detente to like.
Right.
So trying to balance the torque, I probably wind up should just file a flat spot in to get it there, or it just spins around and you feel like it's like a surprise. Where am I on the wheel?
I think I might have cranked it a little bit too hard out of place when I was trying to find that last setting.
Oh, that's fine.
It's fine. So you're selling this one, right?
Yes.
Okay, Brad will fix it.
Brad will fix it in Pro Tools.
There we go. That's the crush.
Yes.
It crushes. But it doesn't sound like so many like hot humbuckers that I've had over the years just go to mud. Like it doesn't sound like mud. Like it sounds great.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, part of it is because in the mangle setting, you've got two evenly output coils. Crush, because you're adding more to one, is now a bit off balanced, which means some of the high end stays. Because if you got two that are both hot, it'll mush down on the top end. But because it's asymmetrical, a stigmata, I don't know, but that's why.
Right.
Yeah.
It makes you bleed from your hands and your head and stuff. Is astigmata.
Yes. No, well, if it's astigmata, then it doesn't.
Oh,
it keeps you from it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right. So all your blood stays in your body. That's nice.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for coming down.
Of course.
To
My
show off
pleasure.
the sounds. We're going to do some more videos that I'll publish later. We're going to check out some of his weird guitars and then maybe some pedals if we feel up to it. Go check out the link in the description to check out these guitars, Alameda guitars. It's not just the pickups, it's this whole system here. It's just like... It feels like deliciously smooth.
Isn't it?
Like if you like the feel of an offset trim that's just really smooth and effortless, it gives you that, but it absolutely gives you that Stratty dive bend.
Yes.
Like low effort.
But yeah, like you said, because it's so smooth that you can get the warble without having to move it much.
It's beautiful.
And then that's like but you see, there you go. Kimasabi, do the hustle. There you go.
I love it. All right.
Yes.
Okay. Well, in the video, did you have something important to say?
I was just going to say, now that you've got the wiggle down, is the dance moves are next.
Now I have to learn the dance moves.
And I will point out that
I know I used the wrong video.
the Savage, the video of the Savage, they're doing the right one. Though the little like the it's almost like a caricature can, you know, because
Right. What I did is in the garage video, I pulled up the wrong video of the Shadows of them doing a different dance, a completely different dance, unique in every way.
Though I also did like the picture the photograph used for the Alvarados.
That was the only one I could find.
It was the coolest moment of
Right.
like, because I'm a dork, and it's suddenly I'm like, wow, look at that. That actually, is that me?
That was the one with you shirtless and a bra hanging off your guitar, right?
Exactly.
I'm gonna have to find that picture again to put it back up. All right, thanks for watching. Stay tuned in future weeks. We're gonna have more videos. Since he drove all the way down here, might as well make a bunch of videos, right?
Be careful what you wish for, folks.
Yeah. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, dislike. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, dislike, leave us rude and nasty comments. Support the channel on Patreon. Buy a shirt if you're naked, and stay grounded. Bye, everybody. That's fun.
Oh, that
It
was
le-
awesome.
It legitimately sounds fantastic.
Well, thank you. I mean, of course I agree.
Right.